Welcome to Heavy Talk. I'm your girl, Heavie Charisse, aka Heavie, and I am back in an episode of Heavy Talk. Here to serve us some more straight talk with no chaser. Happy Heavy Talk Friday. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Straight Talk with No Chaser. No, I missed last week, but I'm back in it like I never left. Let's get right into today's episode. Give you your inspiration, your word of the day. Today's word is connections. Make meaningful connections, whether personally or professionally. The connections you make and maintain may change the trajectory of your life. As always, make sure that you follow at HeavieTalk on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for daily wordsmith inspiration, and make sure that you follow me at Heavie Charisse. Let's get right into today's topics for this episode. Now, this is something I've been meaning to talk about every episode, but like other stuff just kept coming up. And then I missed last week's episode because I was under the weather. I'm under the weather this episode too, but there's no way I was going to miss it. So I want to talk about Kai Cenat. Now, if you don't know, Kai Cenat is a popular Twitch streamer. He does like overnight streams where he just has famous people seems like come to his house and then they do different things like play the game. They just like joke around, just have a good time. The most recent one that I know about, because that's one that I watched a little bit of and then went viral, is the one that he did with Migos rapper Offset. So that one went viral because I feel like it was just really funny and we were able to see Offset having a good time since the loss of Takeoff. So he was just smiling, he was just joking around, he was dancing, they was playing the game. So it was just a good time. It was fun to watch. So that's the one that I seen that really kind of tuned me into who Kai Cenat is. So recently, Kai Cenat has gone viral for this joke that he did. Not necessarily a joke, but a stream that he did. So during this stream, he went to jail, and I put jail in quotations because some people say he was not at a real jail, that it was just a set that was set up to be looking like a jail. So he did this jail stream for 7 days live, where he was live for 7 days. He was streaming on the Twitch. It seemed like he was in jail, and he had different famous people come into the jail, and they were just doing different things, just playing different games. They were eating food, just, to me, a whole bunch of goofy stuff. Now, there was a lot of discourse surrounding this stream and this idea that he had to do this 7-day live stream at the jail. Some people found it to be very entertaining and they found it to be creative. They thought that, okay, he was finding another way because he's been doing these other overnight streams with these famous people. And you could say, okay, there's nothing really more that he can do with this idea. He had this many famous people in here, like, okay, we get the point. So he's found another creative way to do this stream, while other people found it to just be terrible. They found it to be very harmful, very disheartening. So there was just a lot of discourse around this stream that he did, and people have different opinions. I'm on the side of people thinking that this was just not a very good idea, that this was very harmful. And it's a lot of different stance or takes from us that feel like this was just not a good idea. The first one is Kai Cenat is a Black man. He's a young, I don't think he's like maybe 22, 23. He's a young Black man. And we know that this disproportionate amount of Black people, not just Black people, especially Black men who are in jail, who have dealt with the criminal justice system and just all of the unfair, inhumane treatment of it. So why anyone would feel like this will be okay is just, I don't know. And why he, as a Black man, would feel like this is something to do is beyond me. Like, honestly. The second point is, of those that feel like this is not a good idea, the different famous people that were coming there, the different antics that were done, it seems like, or it could feel like he and the people that came in were making a joke out of being in jail or of the prison system, when there's nothing fun, there's nothing jokey about it. There have been so many different stories of the inhumane conditions in jail, of just the unfair treatment. There are stories about Black men who died in jail from being eaten up by bed bugs, or who needed medical attention, never got it. We see places like Rikers Island. There's been so many stories about that. So if you do your research, you can find so many stories of not just Black people, all ethnicities and races of people who have been in jail, and just all of the treatment and the things that they have dealt with. So for Kai Cenat and the people to go in there to like do all of these different antics, like it just seems like they were making a mockery out of people who are in jail and who have been in jail and their different experiences. Again, I don't know why anyone would feel like this would be a good idea. The third point of us that feel like this was just not a good idea is this can influence some young people who are, or people that are just very, very impressionable. Now, on the surface, you may be like, there's no way that this one act that Kai Cenat doing this stream in jail could leave an impression on someone, or they could feel like maybe jail isn't that bad, or it's nothing wrong with it. On the surface, it may seem like that, but then if you add in all of the combination of things that we just see in society today, if you add in the music and the different things that these artists rap about or talk about in their music, you might lean that way. With it could be it can leave an impression. Then if you add in these different video games that people play, so compound in the music and then the video games, and just take into mind what type of environment they may be in, and then you add in this stream, things like that all together, where it might not be just that one simple act of Kai Cenat with the 7-day stream. If you add in all of those different factors, that could lead someone to think that, okay, jail or this lifestyle is not that bad. Like, you know, what's wrong with it? So this overall, I hate it. I think that it was a terrible idea. I'm really side-eyeing anyone who's like, okay, this is just fun. It was entertaining. Some things should just be left alone. Some things should not be joked of or making light of. Like, I just don't like it, especially I talked about this on other episodes with other people like Sexy Red and Doja Cat. It's especially harmful to me for people that have a younger audience, or like a younger generation that feed into them. They have to be very mindful of the different things that they do. Whether you like it or not, young people or like certain people look up to you, and they looking at the different things that you do. So you just have to take that into mind. Yes, you may not have asked to be a role model, but this is just what it is. So you have to be especially careful of the things that you are doing, of the message that you are sending. So I hate this altogether, and I wish that this would have never been done, period. Period, point blank, that's it. Now let's talk about Lauryn Hill. You probably already know what I'm referring to, some comments that Lauryn Hill made when she was about to perform her concert. Now, I am younger, so Lauryn Hill is a bit before my time. So I don't know about every single thing, all of these different instances in the past of maybe her antics, but just the story of Lauryn Hill, from what I can understand, is she seems to have a track record of just being late. Like, she don't care about people's time. She would show up late, and that's just the case. Like that's it. That's point blank in the. So recently, she has put social media in a tizzy because of comments that she made. And the comments that she made is, you're saying she's late a lot. Yo, y'all lucky I make it on this stage every night. WT in the F do you mean that we are lucky that you make it on this stage? Like, this is not something that you say to paying customers. This reminds me of the Keith Lee conversation that we had last episode. This is a customer service thing, how you are talking to paying people. You do not tell someone that's paying you for a service that y'all lucky that I am here. Like, if people don't show up and if these customers don't pay, you don't have a job. And then you might not have no money, or you may not have a lot of money, or you may not be able to live the lifestyle that you are currently living. I don't know what's up with her, but this was just not good. Like, she needs PR, someone to tell her, like, you can't say this, even if this is what you are thinking. That's not something that you maybe should say out loud to people who are coming to see you. Like, they aren't lucky for anything because they paid you. Like, I didn't come here for free. You're not doing me a favor. This is a mutually beneficial situation. I'm paying you, you are getting money, and I am getting entertainment. Like, Lauryn, get it together, ma'am. Get it together. Now let's talk about sports, Heavie Sports Corner. Someone else who has had social media and me in a tizzy, Charissa Thompson. Yeah, if you don't know, Charissa Thompson is a sideline reporter. She's someone who speaks to coaches before and after the games. She tells us what the coaches said during pivotal moments of a game. An interview that she did has surfaced on the timeline, and she's called people in her field to speak out, coaches to speak out, other, journalism students to speak out. It's causing a conversation of ethics in the journalism field. Her comments were essentially, when she doesn't have the chance to speak to a coach, she just makes up what the coach said. She said she'll say something like, if the team is doing bad on defense, she'll say that the coach said we have to do better and get to the quarterback. So she'll just make it up. This is what she said on the interview. It came out of her mouth, and she said it in a joking, cavalier way. I don't know which part has really left us all so befuddled. Is it the fact that she said this in such a cavalier way, like it was funny, like she really just doesn't care or see the problem? Is it the fact that she said, while she was getting ready to say that she does this, she said this notion more than once, so this is not her first time saying something like this publicly? Or is it the fact that it's the white privilege for her as a white woman to be able to say this is something that she does? Now, you may be like, everything is not a white or black issue. Like, why is everything being made just to be so racy? In my opinion, this is a thing where race should be brought into it, because we all know that not a single Black journalist could ever come out and say this is something that they did. We wouldn't even feel comfortable saying something like that. We know immediately that we would come under fire and immediately lose our job. That's just a fact. There's no doubt about it. And I find this to be especially interesting and appalling because I went to school at the illustrious North Carolina A&T to become a sports reporter analyst. Originally, when I declared my major and became a journalism student, in my head, I wanted to be the next Stephen A. Smith, the next Doris Burke. That is what I wanted before I made my pivot into something else. That's what I came into it for. So when I was in my classes, ethics was preached. Like, that's something that we were constantly learned. So for her to even say something like that and like not see the problem and say it so cavalierly, that's appalling. And it makes all journalism people, no matter the field, sports, entertainment, politics, look bad. Because it makes it seem like, are we all just lying or saying something in jest? We hear so many different times where journalists are called liars. So for her to say something like this, it just makes that seem like it's even more true. And it's especially harmful for her to be a female journalist saying something like this, because we know just how it's not that many female journalists in the sports world. So for you to be able to have the privilege to talk to men and to be at that job, and then to say something like that, like, lady, what is up with you? Quite a few of her colleagues have had something to say. The legend, the GOAT, Lisa Salters had something to say about this. She tweeted, it was in 2 parts. She said, shocked, disappointed, disgusted. What we heard today called all sideline reporters into question. My job is an honor, a privilege, and a craft at which I have worked so hard. Trust and credibility. They mean everything to a journalist. To violate either one in any way not only makes a mockery of the profession, but is a disservice to players, coaches, and most importantly, to fans. That's a whole bar. That's a whole statement in itself. These are your own colleagues telling you that what you said is out of pocket. Wasn't just Lisa Salters. Jemele Hill responded to Lisa Salters' tweet about this. Jemele Hill said, my respect for Lisa Salters is infinite. When I did sideline reporting in 2012, I reached out to her for insight on how to do the job the right way, and she dropped jewels on me. A lot of women in our industry, but especially Black women, felt really betrayed by what CT Charissa Thompson admitted. I will be very interested in seeing, one, what Charissa Thompson has to say in response to all of the criticism and comments, and 2, what her employer has to say about this, because that calls into question anything that she's ever said. How do we know for a fact that this is what this coach or player said when you just admitted that you just make it up? And 2, forget about past stuff. If she keeps a job or if she goes on to work somewhere else, how do we know in the future that we can trust you and what you said to be credible when you just said that you'll just like make it up? Whether big or small, it does not matter. Don't act like this is what someone said. I'll be keeping my eyes on that. The Las Vegas Raiders. Black is, y'all know how much I love Black representation, and the Las Vegas Raiders are putting Black representation on display. They are making history. The Las Vegas Raiders are the first NFL team with a Black president, GM, and head coach. Clap it up for them. I love to see it. And I'll say the same thing that I said when last episode we talked about Tyrod Taylor becoming the first Black quarterback for the Jets to win a game. Ain't no way in 2023 that we are still saying the first. Every time it just tells me how much work still needs to be done. But shout out to the Raiders nonetheless for just paving the way and showing all of these other NFL teams what they should reach. This is where we should be at. They should not be the only in the first NFL team with a Black president, GM, and head coach. Like, period. And speaking about the Raiders, let's talk about their former location, their former headquarters, Oakland. I am really sad for Oakland. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, where a city has completely lost all of their major sports teams. Like, what is going on in Oakland? As of this week, the Oakland no longer has any major sports teams for the NFL, NBA, or MLB. They have zero, zilch. Last one standing announced this week that they were moving, that they were leaving. First, they had the Golden State Warriors, they had the Oakland Raiders, and they had the Oakland Athletics. Done for. The Warriors left in 2019 to come to the Bay. The Raiders announced that they would be leaving in 2017, then officially move until 2021. And the MLB Athletics announced this week that they would be moving. I hate this for all of the sports fans in Oakland, because now you have no major team to root for. Not only is this bad for the fans, but this is bad for the city, because sports teams, major sports teams, bring in revenue. It's just a good look for the city. Not only do residents bring in revenue by going to the games and the concessions and all of that, but it can be a tourist spot because people can travel into that city just to see that sports team. So with having zero, I just want to see the impact that will have on the revenue, on the revenue and on their tourism, because now people kind of have no reason to go there because there's no sports teams. If you're a sports fan, you're not going to go there anymore. Hate to see it. And lastly, in sports, we're going to come back to this, but I'm just going to say something is happening at LSU with our previous NCAA champs. Angel Reese got benched. And when they asked the coach, she just said it was a basketball reason. She was real vague. They said social media, that's the they said some of the moms are subtweeting or subbing each other on social media. And then some former LSU players have made some comments on social media, kind of saying that they were about to do some exposing. I will be keeping my eye on that, and we might have to double back to that in a couple episodes if there are some more updates with that, but go check that out because it might be interesting. So before we get into all the things that have me like WTF, I want to wish a congratulations to all of our third quarter Black Business Scholarship recipients. If you're not familiar, the brands TheBlack.Blog and HeavieTalk Media offer a quarterly Black Business Scholarship to Black businesses who are making an impact in the community. This scholarship is funded via donation. So we love the fact that this quarter we were able to award 2 scholarships to double our impact as we get ready to celebrate Giving Tuesday, the annual day of giving. So our 2 scholarship recipients were A Unique Perspective LLC, which focuses on creating a safe space for African Americans who are seeking mental health support. And our second scholar was Laces and Pages. Laces and Pages is an online bookstore for Black children's books. So congratulations to both of our scholars. Continue to do great things in the community. Be on the lookout for their interviews, which will get into more about what they do, what their business is geared towards, and how they plan on using our Black Business Scholarship. And today is $5 Friday, $5 Friday. Now, every single Friday, we celebrate $5 Friday, and this is just our call to action to encourage all of our supporters to donate $5 to the Black Business Scholarship Fund. So far, we've awarded almost $2,000 in scholarships, and we've awarded, I believe now, 6 scholarships. So just help us out, help out a scholar. No donation is too small. Join us in making an impact, especially as we get ready to celebrate Giving Tuesday and embark on the month of giving. And I want to wish you a happy National Entrepreneurship Month to all of the entrepreneurs out there. Y'all know the brands, TheBlack.Blog and HeavieTalk Media love our entrepreneurs, especially our Black entrepreneurs. So this month we are hosting our inaugural National Entrepreneurship Month series where we are interviewing Black entrepreneurs from all across the U.S. We have interviews dropping every single Monday. So make sure that you go check them out on TheBlack.Blog. The interviews are available on our YouTube channel, our podcast, and our website. To learn more about the Black Business Scholarship, whether you want to donate or submit a nomination, or to check out interviews from our Entrepreneurship Month series, head to TheBlack.Blog. Now let's get into all the things that have made WTF, because the streets have definitely been a raging. Let's start with this story, about a Brooklyn landlord who was arrested after he allegedly set fire to his own apartment building after tenants stopped paying rent. WTF. Now, get the frustration. You hate when people not paying your bills because then that trickle down on you. But ain't no way did he ever think it was really a good idea to set fire to the whole building. Like, sir, you putting people's life in danger. What is up with you? A small town Alabama mayor, trigger warning, unalived himself days after he begged a local conservative news website not to publish a story that included photos of him wearing women's clothing and makeup. Wowzers. The story is this man was a mayor of a town in Alabama. This news station or news website, 1819 News, had informed the mayor beforehand that they were coming out with the story about him wearing women's makeup and clothing. He asked them not to do it. Instead, they decided to do it anyway. They posted these photos, and shortly after, he unalived himself. He shot himself in front of police during a welfare check. Now, what people are saying is, it is beyond me or anyone why they would even post this or why this would seem like a gotcha moment, because it did not appear that he had any political positions against LGBTQ issues that could be constructed as hypocritical. So why they felt the need to expose this man is just ridiculous. And they should feel ashamed of themselves because their actions directly caused this man to unalive himself. It's not necessary. People can live their lives how they want to live. WTF. China, you won't cause somebody to get in an accident. China is testing lasers to prevent drivers from falling asleep. I will go look this up if I was you, so that you can see an actual photo, a video of this, because people that have like epilepsy or something could like have a seizure because you have these lights dancing and like flickering all in their face. This may do more harm than they actually think. You think somebody gonna like fall asleep, you can cause somebody to like have a seizure, like have an accident. Whose bright idea was this? WTF, honestly. What is going on with all of these companies and schools making these AI people or like robots at high positions? Like, are there not any qualified humans for these jobs? A Colombian company has appointed a new AI robot as the company's CEO. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? An Australian woman was arrested this week after running onto the tarmac of a local airport in an attempt to prevent a plane from departing without her. Ma'am, you have to chalk it up to the game. Take your L. No way You about to be on the no-fly list because you decided to run on the tarmac because you about to miss your plane. Ma'am, come on now. Simply do better. Do better. Now you're not about to be able to catch any planes because you all up on the tarmac. You about to face charges. My. If you're in the UK and you have an American XL bully dog, I feel bad for you because they have now been banned by the United Kingdom after a year of a series of attacks and deaths. The UK government announced that the breed is being added to the list of prohibited canines under the Dangerous Dogs Act. The law states that it will be illegal to own an XL bully from February 1st, 2024, with owners facing a criminal record and an unlimited fee after that date unless their dog is on an exemption list and owners comply with strict requirements such as microchipping and neutering their pets. Wow. WTF. This is what we're doing to the dogs. Well, what's going on in North Carolina? Stores in North Carolina had approximately $100,000 worth of candy and snacks infused with THC confiscated and taken off their shelves. Now that is a lot of THC. My God. The products were found to be packaged using counterfeit brandings of popular snacks such as Skittles, Airheads, and Oreos. Y'all thought y'all was clever. Officials emphasized that even though the packaging of these edibles feature markings indicating their THC content, they still had the potential to be misleading and go unnoticed by children and teenagers. My. Now, this is interesting. To me, it says that there is a lot to be discovered in this world, that we don't know everything. A diver found tens of thousands of ancient bronze coins off the coast of Italy. The diver was just diving in the water and he stumbled across these coins. Now, what a good person they were, because they could have just took them and just left and never said anything, but that's not what they did. They called in the researchers and the people who work for the different museums, and they went down and found these coins. They found quite a bit of them, and they said these coins date from the first half of the 14th century. That was a long time ago, and I bet that they are very, very valuable. What a good Samaritan that was, because he could have just took them and just got rich and never said a thing. Prayers out, because this sounds sad, like WTF. The owner of a sandwich shop in Seattle has reportedly gone missing, and according to his employees, they have not been paid, nor can they operate the business without him. Now, this is sad that the man just has gone missing. And the fact that I understand bills got to be paid, but the first thing y'all say is that y'all can't get paid without him. Like, y'all are not concerned about his well-being. Prayers up, sir. Lil' Kim, ma'am, what what is happening here? What is going on? Are you okay? WTF. Little Kim threw her panties into the crowd during a recent performance. Ma'am, you can't just be throwing your drawers at people. Like, what is up with you? I had to sue for emotional distress, because don't be throwing your drawers at me. That is a hygiene issue. No. And last but not least, are oxtail really that good? I must be missing out, because ain't no way. 2 Texas men were arrested for stealing 46 packs of oxtail and other meat from multiple grocery stores. Now you didn't call a charge for oxtail? The hype must really be true if y'all are stealing 4 to 6 packs of oxtail and other meat. Now you're about to catch a charge and be behind bars for some oxtail. And what were you about to do with all of it? Not that you was going to resell oxtail at a premium. My. That wraps up today's episode of Heavy Talk, Straight Talk with No Chaser. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me. Sorry that I missed last episode. I was a little under the weather and I am today, but I had to make it through. Hope that you all have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself, practice self-care, relax, refresh, and reset. It is $5 Friday. If you can, donate $5 to the Black Business Scholarship Fund. Take your coffee money, your tea money, your backwood money. Support a Black business. They are critical to our community and to establishing generational wealth. Happy Entrepreneurship Month to all of my entrepreneurs. I celebrate you for all of your work and all of your achievements. I'm your girl, Charissa, aka Heavie. I will catch you next week, same time for more Straight Talk with No Chaser. I'm out.